Your relationship with all your children is different. Your relationship with all your friends is different. There are ones that do different.
It started with silence, not the kind you enjoy with a good book or over morning coffee. This was the heavy kind, the kind that settles after something shatters, the kind that lingers when words should have been spoken but weren't. In Flagstaff, behind quiet doors and closed curtains, something in the Brown household was unraveling. It didn't happen loudly, it was gradual, and within the silence, the whispers began. We've watched this family for years through love stories and heartbreaks, births and weddings, loyalty and betrayal. We held on, believing they'd eventually rediscover each other. Maybe not as they once were, but in some form that was honest. Real? But season 20? It's different. This isn't just another messy installment. This is a reckoning, a missed call, a voicemail that never got a reply, a secret, long buried, finally brought into the light. And when that secret surfaced, it didn't just reopen wounds, it broke the very foundation of the family. What happens when someone you care about reaches out and you don't answer? What if silence wasn't protection but a cry for help? This season doesn't lean on overused cliffhangers. It leans on pain. Real pain. The kind you can't edit out. The kind that haunts. We're no longer just watching the Browns. We're witnessing what happens when years of avoidance come crashing down. And at the center, Robin, once the chosen wife, the emotional centerpiece of Cody's pivot to monogamy. Now she stands alone, no shared couch, no united family, just the consequences. Janelle, who stayed quiet far too long, now speaks with raw honesty. Christine doesn't lash out anymore. She reflects clear-eyed and calm. And Mary, often overlooked as suddenly the one seeing everything with perfect clarity. This season isn't about rivalry anymore. It's about grief, accountability, and a family reckoning with a loss they never thought they'd face. Because this isn't just a story. This is about Garrison, a son whose silent struggle went unheard, until now. A young man whose quiet desperation was sealed inside a missed call and a forgotten audio file. But that audio wasn't lost forever. And once it came out, it changed everything. It happened late one night. Robin's phone flashed with a missed call. It was from Garrison. One call, no voicemail, no second try. Just his name, glowing silently in the dark. She never mentioned it, not that night. Not ever. Weeks later, during a messy custody dispute, a PI was hired. Everyone expected boring emails. What they found instead was a locked, encrypted audio file. A file dated just days before Garrison's death. A file recorded by him. His voice was calm, practiced. "You destroyed this family," he said. "You and Dad. He doesn't visit us because of you. He thinks we're the enemy." Ha! And then, Robin's chilling reply, "Maybe it's better that way." That line hit like a grenade. And then the audio leaked. No intro, no edits. Just raw truth. Podcasts played it. YouTubers dissected it. Activists referenced it. It became known as the call that cracked the Browns. But it didn't just crack them. It shattered them. Cody heard the tape alone in a Vegas hotel. He didn't cry. He didn't scream. He just collapsed, realizing the truth had been there. All along, Janelle wept in her kitchen. Christine didn't react. She just whispered, "I always knew." Mary posted a cryptic quote on Instagram. "Lies have short legs, but the truth stands tall, Evan, when it's too late." TLC scrambled to control the narrative, but it was too late. The damage was done. The truth had a time stamp just days before Garrison's death. When the family gathered next, it wasn't for filming. 'Twas a confrontation. A simple table, cold lighting. Robin sat shaking. Cody beside her, distant. Across from them, Mary, Christine, and Janelle. Mary was the first to speak. Her voice wasn't angry. It was steel. "You said it was better this way." "What did you mean?" Robin stammered. "I didn't mean it like that. but no one looked away. Then Cody whispering, "We didn't know he was that broken." Mary slammed her palm on.
I'll tell you what, there's a divine aspect about my relationship with Robin, and we have been bitch slapped for it.
But if
and
I
I'm
her palm on the table, we knew. We just looked away. Robin's sobs broke the silence, but no one comforted her. Not anymore. In that room, comfort was no longer unconditional. It had to be earned. Afterward, Janelle quietly created a group chat for all the kids. No sides, no drama, just space. Dayton, Aurora, Brianna, Solomon all added. Most stayed silent. But then Dayton typed, "I heard the call too." "I can't fake it anymore," Aurora added. "I used to think people didn't get you, but now I'm not sure I ever did." One by one, the kids left the chat. Robin tried to reply, but no one responded. The silence wasn't limited to the screen. Dayton moved out. Aurora left for Utah. Solomon stayed with Cody's sister. Robin was alone. No voices, no chaos, just emptiness. The mirror still reflected a mother butt. Not one her kids recognized anymore. Janelle visited one final time. Robin sat alone, mascara streaked, lost. "You don't get to play the victim anymore," Janelle said. "Not after what you did. Not after what you said." Robin whispered, "I didn't mean to," but Janelle cut her off. "You didn't lose them. You pushed them away." Before leaving, Janelle left a letter. From Aurora, she said, "She'll come back when you stop lying to yourself." Robin never picked it up. Then came the email. A draft Garrison had written, buried on an old laptop. "If I disappear," it began, "not a goodbye, a reckoning. Don't let them cry for a version of me they never heard," he wrote. "Don't let them lie about how I felt." His words sparked a movement. A foundation herd formed in his name, led by his siblings. Madison, Logan, Leon, Gwen, even Janelle stood quietly behind them. At the memorial, over 500 people gathered, each lighting a candle. None for Cody, none for Robin, their absence louder than words. Gabriel took the podium. "He was my reflection," he said. "He laughed too loud. He loved too deeply, and we didn't hear him. But now we will be his voice." The crowd stood, but Gabriel was already walking off stage, toward a plaque that read, "He was more than the silence." Then Mary took the mic. The woman once dismissed as the quiet one stood up and incinerated the myth. Calmly, surgically, she described the lies, the manipulation, how Robin whispered in Cody's ear, "You deserve peace, not chaos," turning all of them into chaos. The audience gasped when Mary revealed how Robin and Cody once told her, "Maybe start calling yourself the family aunt." And then, the final twist, a leaked court doc revealed that Cody had filed for divorce from Robin, not just separation, full legal split. Guardianship revoked. Robin found out like everyone else through a link. She called. He didn't answer. When he finally did, his voice was cold. "I hear your voice on that recording every night," he said. Then hung up. Robin spiraled. The kids left for good. Dayton was the last. He said nothing, just left his phone on the counter. On the screen, a message from Aurora. "We can't fix this for you." Robin now walks the streets of Arizona alone. Flannel shirt, cracked lips, no ring. A blurry photo on social media confirms it's her. Behind her, a flyer for a missing cat named Shadow flaps in the wind. She doesn't notice, but we do. Shadow was always there, to silence the doubt, the truth that now consumes everything. And so here we are. Season 20 may be the end or the beginning of a total rewrite. Not a story of love, but a tale of silence, loss, and what happens when no one listens until it's too late. The news of Cody's legal divorce didn't just fracture Robin's world, it ruptured the fragile illusion the entire show had been holding up for years. The man once known for controlling every narrative, every family meeting, every on-camera explanation had simply walked away. No sit-down, no final word. It's just paperwork filed in silence and children left to draw their own conclusions. And for once, none of them needed prompting. TLC scrambled. Their producers had planned a redemption. Arca Robin Rebuild special, a possible therapy-centered reunion episode. Maybe even a second chance season. But that all crumbled when public backlash hit like a tidal wave. Hashtag He Was More Than the Silence trended for 2 weeks straight. Mental health organizations issued statements. Even former reality stars voiced their shock. And worst of all, the Brown family kids were not defending the show, they were dismantling it. Logan, usually private, posted a rare video. No music, no filter, no angle, just truth. This wasn't a family show, he said. It was a survival documentary dressed up in Sunday smiles. His words echoed louder than any scripted confessionals ever had, and what followed was a digital domino effect. Gwen released a 12-minute video titled Through a Daughter's Eyes, revealing emails, screenshots, and journal entries documenting the manipulation she had witnessed between her father and Robin over the years. In one particularly jarring entry, Gwen wrote, "Dad used to be a leader. Now he's a listener, but only to her." The rest of us became noise. Fans began piecing together timelines. What once seemed like innocent family misunderstandings were now reframed as deeply embedded patterns of emotional favoritism. Robin didn't just isolate Cody from his wives. She isolated him from his children. One gentle suggestion at a time. Janelle, meanwhile, made a quiet return to her online book club, but it wasn't the same. The first live stream opened not with a novel discussion, but a soft apology. "I was part of the silence," she said. "I chose peace over truth. And now we all pay the price." Thousands flooded the chat with hearts, prayers, and pleas for her to keep going. Christine remained remarkably silent, but that silence spoke volumes. Then one morning she posted a black and white photo of her and Garrison when he was a toddler. No caption, no tags. Just a moment of motherhood frozen in time. The comments exploded. Everyone knew what it meant. And Mary had gone from the quiet, compliant figure in the corner to something else entirely. An entire podcast series was announced, unscripted, The Mary Years. It wasn't revenge. It wasn't bitterness. It was memory. Mary's voice finally uninterrupted, threading the needle through 2 decades of buried history. And Robin, she had become the ghost of her own story. The flannel, the missing ring, the quiet walks, they weren't just symbolism anymore. They were reality. She had become the outsider she once claimed to fear. And still the audio played. On podcasts, looped it. Activists quoted it. Garrison's voice tender pained and unflinching refused to fade. Behind the scenes, TLC was in crisis mode. Executives met in closed-door meetings trying to salvage the brand. A final season, a docu-series from the children's perspective. A tell-all sit-down with Cody. Every plan was met with roadblocks because no one wanted to talk, at least not for them. The Herd Foundation grew rapidly. Local chapters opened. In Arizona, Utah, and Nevada, a hotline was launched, and the website's landing page was Garrison's photo. Not smiling, not scripted, just honest. Beneath it, I just wanted to be heard. One particularly moving moment came at the Foundation's first conference. Leon took the stage, their voice trembling, but sure. "My brother's pain became our mission," they said. "We were born on TV, raised by pressure, and edited into someone else's idea of family. But now we're the authors." Cody, for his part, vanished. No new public statements, no interviews, no appearances. Rumors swirled about a secluded retreat, therapy sessions, or even a tell-all being filmed in secret. But none of it was confirmed. What was confirmed was his name quietly disappearing from TLC's cast roster page. Then came the footage leak. A clip from an unreleased episode surfaced on Reddit. Blurry, unedited, no intro music. Cody pacing furiously in the kitchen, yelling at producers. "You were supposed to protect us," he shouted. "You let the kids speak without us." A cameraman tried to respond, but Cody stormed off, slamming the door behind him. The camera lingered. Robin was in the corner, her hands over her ears, whispering. It's all falling apart. It wasn't just a show anymore. It was a collapse, caught on tape, and the final blow. An unreleased episode titled "The Day the Truth Broke" leaked. In fragments. In it, Janelle and Christine confront producers off camera. "You can't edit this away," Christine says. Not anymore. The scene cuts mid-sentence. It was raw, unfinished, but real. And fans devoured every frame. The official word from TLC, silence, maybe. That's the most fitting ending of all, because it started with silence, maybe, and now silence is all that's left.